Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina and I am excited because this week we have a huge grocery haul, at least for us. We went to three stores, Trader Joe's, Aldi, and Vons. So let's go down to the table and check out all the fun things we got this week. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the frozen items. And one of my favorite sales at Vons is when they do the 10 items for $10. And that's because they always include these green giant steamable vegetable situations in that 10 for 10. And I really like these. So this week we got a variety of different ones. Here I have the cheesy riced cauliflower, and let me go ahead and show you the macros. So this is 40 calories per serving and 70 calories for the whole container. It's got 3 grams of fat, 10 grams of carbs, and 4 grams of protein for the whole container. So what I really like to do with these is usually eat the whole thing and then add a protein. So that could be tuna, it could be chicken, maybe add some of my favorite mozzarella cheese on top. And that is just a super easy, quick, convenient way to usually get in a pretty high protein meal with these vegetables as the base. So that's the creamy cauliflower. Also picked up the broccoli and cheese sauce. This is a little bit higher macros, but still amazing to have as a base. I believe it's 60 calories per serving or 120 calories for the whole box. And so again, I would just have the whole box, add my protein, and just have a really easy, convenient lunch, large snack, small dinner, whatever you want to call it. And then the third one we picked up is this combination of broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, and cheese. So really, really enjoy getting those. And then they had a couple other frozen items as part of this offer as well. I picked up 2 of these broccoli cuts, which is basically what it sounds like. It's just frozen broccoli. So this is really convenient to have for meal prep when preparing different meals for the week. I really like just having these, frozen, ready to go in the freezer. So here's the other one of the broccoli, and then we picked up one of the mixed vegetables. And again, this will probably go into a recipe, and when they have this deal, it's just great to stock up. Some of the proteins for the week, Vons was also having a really good deal on this all-natural ground turkey, which is 93% lean and 7% fat. And I do like that combination. I also like the 99% lean ground turkey because it's super low in calories and high in protein. But this is great too because it just is a little bit richer, a little bit more moist. So I don't really mind. I'll go for what's on sale or what I need for a recipe. And let's go ahead and take a look at those macros. So as you can see here, one serving is 4 ounces. That's 150 calories, 8 grams of fat, 0 grams of carbs, and 22 grams of protein. So this is just a really great protein source. And this week, I'm actually going to be making a lentil soup. So I'll walk you through some of the ingredients for that. And I'm going to film it for the first time, which is super fun. And so I'll be using 1 whole container of this ground turkey in that recipe. Then, as I mentioned, I picked up 2 of them. Something else I've been really enjoying, particularly with the 93.7 ground turkey, is making them into turkey meatballs. So I just really, I don't know, I'm just super into it at the moment. So I add some of this, some panko breadcrumbs, some seasoning, and usually use a good portion. Like I'll probably use more than the 4 ounces, and then it's sort of my main meal. And then what I do is take some of this tomato sauce. So it's actually the one I've hauled right here. It's just this Happy Harvest tomato sauce. It's super basic. I'll go ahead and season that up. I'll make my meatballs, and then I'll obviously top that all together, and then again top it with my favorite mozzarella cheese. And I don't know, it's just hitting the spot lately. It's not something that I've had a ton of in the past, but I feel like it's just a really nice way to get that kind of like cheesy, meaty situation going on. And I actually don't feel like I really need the whole serving of pasta or anything with it because I'm just so pleased with that. Sometimes I'll add some potatoes on the side or whatever it might be, but anyway, I will use this turkey for a recipe and for those meatballs probably tonight. And then finally, our last meat-based protein for the week, we got these all-natural boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And James is going to use these for his lunch bowls. We're going to season them and he can grill them up. And then this usually lasts him actually like a couple weeks because what we do is after we grill them, we do the trick, which if you haven't tried it, you have to try it. You put your grilled or cooked meat, generally works best with chicken, but probably would work well with pork too. You put it into your KitchenAid or whatever mixer you have, whole, and then you just turn on the KitchenAid on low with a paddle attachment, and it turns it into the most perfect shredded chicken. Such a time saver. I never did shredded chicken before because I didn't like doing it with a fork. I know that sounds silly, but this paddle attachment hack works really well. So that's what we'll be doing with that. And then just getting into some of the produce here, we have this giant cucumber, which James will use for snacking. We have an avocado, which he's going to use in his couscous bowls. Aldi was selling these Driscoll strawberries for so cheap, so we had to pick them up. They all look very ripe, so we'll need to eat them quickly, but love strawberries, usually use them to top our overnight oats, so was happy to see them, and they will definitely get eaten. Baby carrots, this is one of the ingredients that will go into the lentil soup. So I'll chop up some of these and then the rest we'll use as snacks, usually for James with hummus for the rest of the week. For my lunch, I like to use shredded carrots. I use this with spinach, chicken, egg whites, etc. to make one of my lunch specialities. So picked up a bag of that. Just some boring old, slightly beaten up bananas. This goes on top of the overnight oats, or if we need a snack. Tomatoes will be going into the couscous bowls for James's lunch. And then Aldi was having a terrific sale on these tri-colored bell peppers. And, you know, these can sometimes be a bit more expensive. So just wanted to buy them. I'll probably chop them up and get them in the freezer for our next recipe. So that's just some proactive vegetable shopping for you there. And then the last item of produce is Aldi was having a great sale on kiwis, and we actually just went to New Zealand, so it was a little bit nostalgic to get some kiwis after our time temporarily being kiwis. But anyway, this seems like it comes with quite a few. It says servings 5, serving size 2, so with some very simple math, looks like we have about 10 kiwis there. Super exciting. I think it's really cute. It also comes with a little spoon, which seems completely unnecessary, but you know, is very, very nice. So we will be diving into that for a snack. Okay, and then here is something I am really excited about. This is the Miracle Noodle fettuccine noodles, and this is 5 calories, I believe, per serving, and only 1 gram of net carbs. So what's the deal with Miracle Noodles? Let's take a look at the nutrition. So you can see that there are 3 servings actually in the container. So that will come to 15 calories. The first ingredient is water, and then this particular type of flour. And I think essentially Miracle Noodles are using a starch and turning that into a noodle. And I have tried Miracle Noodles in the past, and I didn't necessarily have the best experience, but I was thinking about it when I saw this at Aldi, and that was probably 8 or 9 years ago at this point. So I thought it would be fun just to try and see if I can turn this into anything that's edible. So right there, you can see that my expectations are quite low, but I do think it's interesting. It's an interesting product. I've seen people use it more recently and have a lot of success. So I think one of the most important things is to drain it really well, to rinse it and drain it. And then use it on the stovetop is what I think I'm going to do. So again, my expectations are not that this is going to taste exactly like pasta. And if I wanted it to be pasta, I would just have pasta. My preference is usually a lentil pasta because it has a little bit more fiber and protein, but I kind of just want to experiment with that. And I think that's a good, healthy approach to have, is to understand this isn't going to be like a giant bowl of pasta, but it will be fun to see if I can turn it into something I like and just revisit Miracle Noodles and see if I can do them a little bit better. Okay, and then Vons was having a decent sale on some of our favorite yogurts, which are the Dannon Light and Fit and the Oikos 000. So the Dannon Light and Fit, I got the strawberry cheesecake flavor. That's 80 calories, 12 grams of protein, and is delicious. And then the Oikos 000, that's 15 grams of protein and 90 calories. So we really enjoy these, and this was a good price for a 4-pack. I'll have them as a snack. James will use them as a base in his overnight oats, just something we always like to have on hand. Went ahead and picked up 2 packs of these cage-free golden eggs. This grocery haul is bigger than normal because we're just coming back from vacation, so we really needed to stock up. And over here, I wanted to highlight some of the ingredients I'll be using to make that lentil soup. So what I like about this so much is that it's really easy and it's also pretty high protein and very tasty. And so what I do is I take a couple of ready-made things and I put them all together and then also add some fresh vegetables. So I take this container of lentils that we get from Trader Joe's, which is really good. There's not many ingredients in it. It's really just lentils, a couple herbs and spices, and combine it with the Trader Joe's organic tomato and roasted red pepper soup. We get the low sodium kind. And that combined with these 2 ingredients, so this is the beefless ground beef, which we're not vegetarian, but I just really like the texture of this. I think it adds some nice kind of dimension to the soup. And we'll combine this with the roasted red pepper soup and the lentils, and then also add in this organic lentil vegetable soup from Trader Joe's. So we'll take all of this and then we'll take the carrots and the ground turkey and some potato, and that will be the soup. So look out for that video, but that's why I got all those ingredients. This is my tuna corner. Picked up 2 of the chicken of the sea chunk light tuna, reduced sodium. And this was part of the Vaughn's deal. So each of these were only $1, which is great. And then have a tuna pouch here from Aldi. I've talked about these before. They're smaller than the tin of tuna. So if you just need a snack, these are great. 70 calories and about 17 grams of protein. So just makes it really easy to hit your protein goals, and it's not a ton of food if you're not feeling very hungry, but just kind of helps you get those protein goals. Of course, anytime I go to Trader Joe's, I have to pick up my favorite piquant popcorn. This is seasoned with nutritional yeast, onion, sea salt, and garlic. It's kind of weird, but kind of amazing. And then you get some kernels that have just like a ton of nutritional yeast on it, which sounds gross, but they're so good. So anyway, I find this really Moorish. I really enjoy it, and I always get it. And yeah, just give it a chance if you think it's a little strange. And then also it comes in sort of this brown paper bag situation, so I feel like that's better than plastic, which is always nice. Here's a little duo for our overnight oats. We buy the Simply Nature non-GMO chia seeds. This is as it describes, it's just chia seeds, but we use this for a little bit more protein, and then also when you combine it with yogurt and the milk and the oats, it really adds kind of a texture, of course, but it really helps to thicken up the oats as well. So they work really well for that purpose, and we were running low. And then here we have some of the rolled oats. These are just the old-fashioned oats, and those are the kind that I like to use in the overnight oats recipe. We were running a little low on condiments and seasoning, so James picked up this Berman's barbecue sauce, Kansas City style. He has some affiliation for Kansas City, so he will buy their barbecue sauce, and hopefully it will be tasty. Also have some of the organic Simply Nature tomato ketchup. This one has slightly better macros. It's 15 calories per serving, and it's got lower sugar. The Kansas City one is slightly lower sugar too. Barbecue sauce tends to be pretty sugarific. So these are both better, but not my absolute favorites. But we'll take them, we'll use them, small swaps. And then picked up these 2 seasonings from Trader Joe's. This is the onion salt. I use this with everything. It's just amazing, really delicious, goes with everything, kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone, being onion flavoring and salt, and then everything but the bagel. Of course, that is also a staple and also seems to go with everything. Part of the 10 for 10 deal was also these Gatorade bottles. So we like to get the Gatorade Zero Sugar. I know it has chemicals. I'm okay with that. And I still prefer the zero sugar because the ones with sugar are just sort of unreal with how much they have. So we also don't drink a whole bottle at a time. What we do is put one in the fridge, and then, when we need to quench our thirst, we do. So anyway, we picked up these 2. Looks like we got the berry, and I am assuming this is some kind of lemon flavor. For the baking I needed some of the speculoos cookie butter. It is delicious. It is amazing. It is something I use a lot in baking. Also primarily for baking, but if I need a PB&J, picked up this creamy Noaster peanut butter spread. I get this one if I've got baking in mind, because the ones where the oil separates actually doesn't work too well for baking. If I'm just consuming it, I do like to get that one, but this one's really good too. And then I wanted to get some jam that I felt better about. So this is the Trader Joe's organic reduced sugar raspberry preserves. And I'll go ahead and show you the macros here. So 1 tablespoon is a serving and it's 25 calories, but it's got a lot less sugar than the average. So that's why I picked it up. It's a little bit on the pricier side, but I feel like it's worth it because the first ingredient here is actually raspberries instead of sugar. So to me, that seems like a good indication. And then over here, this is a staple for James's lunch. He got some of the Dakota's Pride black beans and then Happy Harvest sweet corn. And both of these will be going into his quinoa bowls. And then James needs a little lunch dessert. So what we picked up this week are these beach day gummy candies because they look incredibly cute. I imagine they're going to be things like seashells and pails and sunglasses. So that is super duper cute. I know he's going to enjoy them. And then lastly, for his lunch dessert, we picked up some of these double chocolate wafer cookies. I figured this was a way to still have a sweet treat, but I figured this was a way to still have a sweet treat, but not be quite as heavy as just having like a bunch of candy or kind of more traditional cookies. And you can see here, you can actually have 7 for 150 calories and only 8 grams of sugar. So that is better than your traditional chocolate chip cookie. And I feel like a couple of them will still kind of hit that sweet spot for him. So that's very exciting. And that's the haul for this week, guys. It is pretty impressive, especially for us. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I'm looking forward to showing you guys how I make the lentil soup and bringing you lots more grocery hauls to come. Thanks. Bye.